Ms. Usha Uthup, cause ambassador of the Calcutta Heritage Collective, guests, and members of the collective, a very good evening and a warm welcome to CHC's first episode of the Adda series. क्या अड्डा के बिना हमारा चलता है? फ्रेंड्स के साथ ड्रिंक्स पे अड्डा, फैमिली के साथ चाय पे अड्डा, ইন্টেলেকচুয়ালসদের সঙ্গে আড্ডা, বন্ধুদের সঙ্গে কফি শপে আড্ডা, আড্ডা বা আড্ডা, whatever you say. Life in Calcutta is incomplete and unimaginable without Adda. So, the one thing all of us have really missed out on during this pandemic is the Adda. The one thing we would really love to have, join in an Adda every week. So the collective thus decided that just like we adapted everything else to the virtual world, why not our Addas too? As with many of our activities, walks in different parts of our city, talks and discussions with experts, exhibitions that highlight heritage properties, and of course, very recently in 2020, the inter-school quizzes and presentation of 100 to nearly 200-year-old clubs of our city, which is actually ongoing. You'll see some more very soon. This series is also aimed towards creating awareness amongst all of us, leading to pride in and actual preservation of our magnificent heritage properties. We are extremely proud that we are a group of 75 totally committed members. All of us want to conserve our heritage, our architectural heritage. We read and explore and have lots to share. Thus came up the need of ADDAs, where we can share our experiences, ideas, and thoughts with each other, all equally passionate people. Therefore, develop ways and work towards achieving our mission. Today, being the inaugural session, we have opened it out to non-members. But henceforth, these sessions mostly will be for members only. This next announcement is for all of you who would like to continue to join the ADDAs, participate in, or be a silent listener. You must be a member. In case you are not and would like to join, please message on 98310 41910 or email on contact@calcuttaheritagecollective.com and a membership form will be sent to you. For your convenience, this number and the email ID has been posted on the chat box too. With this, I would like to invite our member and very dear friend, Oindrila Dutt, Executive Director of Open Doors, an event management company. Actually, she needs no introduction. So Oindrila, do join in to take us down memory lane with the versatile and simply unique Usha. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mukul. Thank you. You know, it takes real chutzpah for a Western music singer to take the stage at a nightclub in a sari at the end of the swinging 60s and to belt out rock and roll classics, jazz standards, and more, all in the deepest baritone. And to turn that chutzpah into a kind of personalized pizzazz is even more outstanding. But that is Usha Uthup for you. Someone who crooned her way to national and international fame from right here on Park Street, from Trinkas. Someone who changed the face of entertainment and did it her way. Someone who hit every setback for a six with a smile, swung her bat at it, and carved out a place in Calcutta's heart that no one can prize her away from. CHC is really delighted to unplug for you in this Adda, the quintessential Calcuttan, someone who embodies Kolkata's warmth, harmony, and joy. Padma Shri and Filmfare awardee, Usha Uthup. Usha, please join us. Quintessential Calcuttan. Someone
Hi, everybody.
Kolkata's Hi, Usha. This is absolutely delightful. And really, let's start at the beginning about how you got to this happening strip, Park Street. Take us through the start of that journey.
My goodness, it's so wonderful to be with all of you. And thank you, Indrilla. Thank you, Odi, for saying that. Thank you, Mridul. And everybody who's watching and listening to us over here. Let me say my original line, Namaskar, Namaskaram, Sat Sri Akal, Salam Alaikum. And that started in 1969 for me. Actually, 68, 69 when I started in Madras and in a small nightclub. And then I went to Bombay. And in those days, there was no electronic media or anything like that. So nobody really knew about me through television, or it was all by word of mouth. And that's why it was so slow. But that's why I'm still around. I guess, because word of mouth is very, very slow. And unless you were good, or it's not question of being good or bad, but definitely being 100% original. And I think when people feel, it's actually, I've been saying this all my life, that when people put you on a certain level, that is the time when you should be really grateful. Actually, you don't put a price tag on yourself, and nor do you put any tag on yourself. The audience has to do that for you. And so my journey actually started off in a Kanjivaram sari, and I'm still in a Kanjivaram sari. And nobody ever thought that in a small little nightclub in Madras, when I started singing, actually, the way it started was a complete accident. We just went there for a meal, and my aunt, who was then director of tourism in Madras, said they all knew that I was a clown and, ready to go and make a party anywhere. I mean, starting at home, of course. And I was very, very young, obviously. And it was just fantastic that when she said, why don't you get up and sing? And I just got up and sang. And within about, after the first song, which was Fever, everybody clapped their hands, and I said, hey, maybe they like me. And then they said, sing one more, and I sang one more, and soon it became about 45 minutes, at which time the owner came up to me and said whether I would sing, asked me whether I'd sing for the whole week. And I was really thrilled. I said, okay. Totally by accident. I mean, nothing happens really by accident. Everything is pre-planned, and somewhere when the moon is in the seventh house kind of thing and Jupiter aligns with Mars, everything falls into place. And he asked me whether I'd sing over there. And I said, yes. Then I sang in another nightclub in Madras called Golden Bowl, which is in Hotel Savera, which still exists. And then I went back to Bombay. I am basically a Bombay girl. And as I say, Bombay is my Janma Bhumi, and Kolkata is my Karma Bhumi. So it's really fantastic that now, of course, it's more than half my life that I've been here. It's really amazing that I could be here for so many years. But from Bombay, I got this offer to sing in Park Street. Uncle Josh and Mr. Joshua and Omi Mama, that is Mr. Puri, wrote me a letter. In those days, there was a blue inland letter. Do you remember? Trinkas, that's right. Trinkas. They wrote me a letter, and they asked me whether I would sing there. And I said, of course I will sing. And I remember when I wrote to them, the first thing I wrote was that, I'm so sorry, but I don't know how to, I don't know how to tell you. I don't wear a frock. I remember using the word frock. And they wrote back, and I said, I only wear a sari. And they wrote back and said, no, we want you just that way. Don't change it. So I guess from somewhere that was the beginning of the song, Just the Way You Are. And well, I came to Calcutta, and the big, bad world of entertainment, which is so fantastic to be here. My goodness, Kolkata. And that time we only called it Calcutta. I still call it Calcutta. It was just fantastic to drive straight from the airport, drive down Park Street. And even as I say it now, I get goosebumps just thinking about, I led a very sheltered life, even though I came from Bombay. Very, very sheltered life, coming from a very middle class family, and then suddenly coming to this huge, big, bad world of
Nightclub.
nightlife.
And to a
Yeah.
nightclub. In the
Yes,
sari.
and I came into Trinkas that night, my very first night. It was really exciting. The band was playing, and everybody was. I mean, in those days, people really dressed up to go out. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
everybody was in their suits, and the ladies were well dressed in their long gowns, or if they were wearing a dress, then it
Usha,
was
so how did they
really.
react to you in a
Sorry.
sari? How did they react to you in a sari?
Well, actually, the first time on my first night, when they announced me, I could hear people sitting in the ringside seat saying, oh my God, what is this Amma going to do? And then, of course, when I started singing Fever, then everything changed because it was so incongruous to see someone looking like me and then coming out with a voice like that. So, but then it's because they accepted me. If it weren't for my audience accepting me the way I am, it would be very difficult, isn't it? And I think which makes me keep on saying this line, and I shall say it for all my life, that it's not a question of how good or how bad a singer you are, or the most important thing is originality. And I think they found something original in me, and also I think women started really relating with me much more. They didn't think I was a threat to them because of the way I looked and the way I dressed in a sari. I looked like the girl next door. So they thought I wasn't any danger to their husbands, and it was fine to be seen in a nightclub or a restaurant that had cabaret and everything. Well, I'm a cabaret myself because people don't understand. People think that cabaret means just taking off your clothes and doing a belly dance or something. That's not it. Frank Sinatra did cabaret. Lisa Minnelli, Sammy Davis Jr., everybody, we're all cabaret artists because you do a cabaret artist is when you do a show or a spot of 20 minutes aside from the band that is playing over there already. But of course, that aside didn't happen for me because I was on the floor first, and then all the tables got booked, and it was so crowded. They put everything on the dance floor as well. So I had to get up onto the stage and started. And that's really how it all started in
And
Trinkas
that's
for me.
fantastic. Okay, Usha, Park Street was where Vansittart, Loretto House, was
Mm.
Governor Vansittart's deer park, hence Park Street. Now, it's
Oh.
also been called Burial Grounds Road, Vansittart Avenue, and now it's Mother Teresa Sharoni.
Mm.
You've seen over 50 plus years this change in Park Street. How has it changed? And has it changed for the better? And is the joie de vivre missing somewhat?
I'm such a compulsive optimist, Todi. I can't, I could never, even in between, say maybe 10 years before this, people were saying, oh, Park Street is dying, Park Street is dead, or say about 15 years before. I will never agree to that. Maybe I'm biased. It still gives me a thrill, whether it's daytime or anytime. Maybe I'm biased. I don't know, but I prefer to be biased and tell everybody the truth, and to make it back once again the way it is. For me, it never was dead. Okay, for me, it was always alive, and even now. I mean, now means 1 year I've been sitting at home. I mean, not almost a year since March 7th when I did my last show in Jodhpur. After that, I've been totally at home. So even then, when you drive down Park Street, there's something that comes alive. I mean, the magic in the air is something unbelievable. And Park Street is, no matter what, I mean, no matter how much we respect Mother Teresa and how much I love her, and for me, she is always over there, somehow Park Street will always be Park Street. And I think for everybody that walking down the what shall I say, the sidewalk, and you
Mm.
see those bookstalls over there, and you see Oxford, and there's something about Park Street. In any case, there's something about Kolkata, but there's
Mm.
something about Park Street which will never die. It just needs that little push from the people, that what you call attobishas, but
Ah,
people who believe in themselves.
ah,
As
ah.
somewhere down the line, I mean, the whole world used to look towards Park Street and Calcutta for its nightlife, for the culture, for it was a hub of art and culture and everything, like cultural heritage. But somewhere down the line, I don't know what happened. It didn't happen to me, but somewhere down the line, we stopped believing in ourselves. And there was always this apologetic kind of attitude that people had over here. But there's no need to be like that, because we are the best. And if we say that we are the champions, we better live up to it. And that's what makes Park Street tick, I feel. And the magic, I mean, if you say there are so many things that, has the sparkle gone off a little bit? No, it's just cosmetic. The soul of Park Street still remains.
But Usha, somewhere in the middle, the music died. For some,
Probably. Probably, and let me make it clear to people why it died as well. If at all you call it dying, I think it went off for a little while because see, when I started singing on Park Street, I had to go before I sang, I had to go to Lal Bazaar and get a license to sing, to perform on Park Street.
yeah,
And that happened for every singer or every cabaret artist, whatever, you had to go and get a license. And, one of the clauses was that you wouldn't solicit. Another thing was that you weren't allowed to sit at the tables. You had to go and after you finished or before you start, you sit at another area where not with the clientele, okay,
yeah.
or with the gentry, as they would say.
Mm.
So the thing is that all this and the entertainment tax kept going up. And so there were very few restaurants that could, or nightclubs that could really afford to get entertainment. And it's a vicious circle because people stopped going out so much because of the entertainment tax that was put on, you see. So
Yeah.
if their bill was supposed to be X, it was always X plus the entertainment tax.
Mm.
And that kind of came in the way of many people wanting to come to Park Street, really, or to any place that was giving you entertainment. So everybody lost interest in that, and most people. And also, don't forget the community, like say, for example, the Armenians or the Jewish
Yes,
community or the Anglo-Indian community, all left by then. They started leaving India. It wasn't that they were just leaving Calcutta; they were leaving India and going away. So that particular clientele that always came to nightclubs started dwindling. And it started dwindling because they were really not the kind of people who could really afford to pay the entertainment tax.
yeah,
Okay. It was really high. And so we all lost our jobs as well.
yes,
We
yes.
didn't get so up. I was lucky because I, in any case, had started singing in para shows and I was doing concerts. I'm more a live artist than anything else, right? Than even being a playback artist, really. I'm more a live person. And so I was getting jobs everywhere anyway to sing and doing concerts in Kalamandir and Salt Lake Stadium, and not so at that time, then Eden Gardens, everywhere, but everywhere, Maidan. Then slowly the puja thing came in for me.
Mm.
Puja Pada shows were always there. But for me, it was something new. So I was the only one from Park Street who was doing Pada shows as well. And Pada show people never came to Park Street, if you know what I mean. So
Usha,
yeah,
sorry, I wanted to ask you, you said just now that the kind of people who came, the audiences, were not really the kind who could afford to pay very high taxes. Now,
absolutely.
I wanted to ask you about the audiences. One, was it a shock to them? This was the Lata Mangeshkar era, the era of high pitched voices, and there was this deep, almost male baritone. How did
Absolutely.
they get to that? And also, how did they react to you? You've done amazing things. On New Year's, you've sung Purano Shei Diner Kotha in Bengali on Park Street. I don't think anyone else has done that after that.
Nobody,
How
nobody.
did the audience react to you? How did they respond to you?
The audiences were so fantastic. It's only because of the people that I'm still around, really. Without my audiences, I'd be zero because I came in from outside. Okay. So, how would I even know that there was an embargo on Rabindra Sangeet being sung over there, here, there, or anyway, or it had to be sung like this, and the Lipi had to be followed, blah, blah, blah. It was all very, very prevalent in those days. Now, of course, everybody is doing that kind of thing. Now, meaning, say, 20 years ago. people started singing with guitars and, started singing one more time, like the beat groups used to be. We used to call them beat groups, people like Savages and Flintstones and all who performed in Trinkas. Now, my point is that I didn't know all this. Okay, I was very young, very fresh, and very innocent and pure as far as my repertoire goes, and the way I behaved. Also, don't forget, I was also not ready for scandals. The only scandal I had, as I said, I married, and so uh, being involved with one person, I mean, being involved with Johnny, I was never really exposed. I was exposed to a lot of exposure to a lot of men and things like that, but it never took any important and didn't give me any. I mean, make me feel anything fantastic. So I was different in that way also. I didn't smoke. I didn't drink. And so I didn't fit into the normal what people thought, as you said, anyway, I didn't fit into that. So when people accepted me, they accepted me for the person who I am. There was no question of me putting on any kind of clothes different or behaving differently on stage or yeah. So because they accepted
Groove.
me,
You didn't have to fit any groove.
sorry,
You didn't have to fit into any groove. You made
no.
your own space. Yeah.
Exactly. And so it was easy for me because it was the timing. I think I came on at the right time. That was 1969 when everybody thought they all had this preconceived idea. So when you say about the certain niche audience, not niche, in those days you wouldn't find you would probably think, oh, how can you sing Rabindra Sangeet in a nightclub? But I didn't think of it like that. I just said a song is a song is a song. And this was beautiful because I was singing All Lang Syne. And I knew then that it resembled Purano She Dinir Katha, or shall I say Purano She Dinir Katha resembled All Lang Syne. So I did both, put the guitar on, and I sang. And I found that in everybody, Odie, there is a singer hidden. And it didn't really matter to anybody the place or where we were sitting or what they were drinking and what they were wearing and what they were smoking and what they nothing. They just sang along with me because it touched a certain chord in the Bengali heart. Whether you were Jewish or whether you were Armenian, they were all Bengalis,
And
like we
that
all
was
are.
the spirit of Calcutta
Yes,
in those days.
absolutely. And it touched that spirit, that chord, which made them all sing. And soon it became a request for me. All the Bhadralok used to be there. I mean, when I say Bhadralok, I really mean it because there was Jyoti Babu, there was Shobnath Chatterjee, there was Shomitra Da who was there was Shupriya Di, Uttam Kumar, Amitabh Bachchan, Kabir Bedi, Sharmila Tagore, Nawab Patel, you name it, Farooq Engineer, Sunil Gavaskar, they've all heard me in Trinkas. So there was no question about it at all. There was no question about the people who came there were could be really high in those days, and they
Yeah.
still are high. You wouldn't have imagined that people like that would come to a nightclub, but they did because everyone wants a little bit of entertainment at the
No,
end of a
and
day.
also the atmosphere was different. It was different
Electric. It was
completely.
really electric, and
Yeah.
you had people like that sitting in the audience, and it was Shuttajit Rai. I mean, he used to
Yeah.
be a regular over there,
Well,
really,
the
and
entire advertising community was there.
the
Okay, I
whole
just,
the whole advertising community was
I
there.
wanted to say, Usha, Park Street was the mecca of
Absolutely.
Western music and entertainment. You had Louis Banks and Pam Crane at Blue Fox. You had Biddu Appaya. I mean, nobody
Biddu,
even
yes.
knows
There are
who was
many
Appaya.
people, Odi, who like to wish they passed away or
Yeah,
wash their passed away,
at,
but not
at
me.
yeah, the loan with the Trojans, and he was the name behind Carl Douglas, Kung Fu Fighting, Tina Charles, Nazia Hassan. Then there was Braz, there was Brenda Lilly, if you remember
Yes.
her, and Eve.
Brenda Lee, yes.
Yes, and also Amrik Singh Arora in a different mold, but I think you've sung with him, Amrik
Yes,
Singh.
with all of them.
With apologies to Mom, uh, life on Park Street was really like a movable feast. And
Yes.
how did it pan out, Usha? Was there a lot of competition between y'all? How did you all survive? Every one of you, was there enough for everybody? Or was it all appreciation and solidarity?
No, see, as far as I'm concerned, I never looked at it as competition, okay? Because I was in awe of, in during my break time, I'd walk over to Blue Fox and have a look at Pam Crane, and I was in awe of her. Really, to see
Yeah.
that lady in, showing her cleavage and that beautiful gown that she wore and the blonde wig that she had. I mean, it just fitted exactly what a nightclub singer should be. And I was
Mm.
in awe of her. I really admired her. And I thought, oh God, I was like it was a fan moment for me. And I was
I
so
can
young and so impressionable, really so impressionable. And I was really in awe of her. But you know what happened? When I started performing over there, I'm not talking pompously, but
yeah.
if it would look like I'm pompous, but I am pompous, then it's okay if you feel that way. But I'm talking clinically. They
Mm.
couldn't accommodate everybody in Trinkas. The crowds were so great
Yeah.
that they broke down the
Yeah.
wall of the Ming room.
Ah, okay.
Yes, they broke it down so that they could get more people to watch me. And that was also full. And that was so great. And the queue outside Trinkas used to go all the way past Moulin Rouge, all the way. And so it was so fantastic for me to know that all the restaurants around were being fed by the overflow from Trinkas. I mean, that's really, really an amazing thing. So I didn't feel any kind of competition because I knew I couldn't be singing like any of them. There was Mags that had a lot of Hindi music as well. And I was the only one who was doing Western music and probably popping in. At that time, I didn't have such a big repertoire, probably one Punjabi song or one Hindi or one Bengali, depending on the kind of people that there were at that time. I really had no idea of what is competition. I really never thought about it. And I don't think I'm in competition with anybody, even now. I mean,
Everyone had
eh,
their style and
yeah.
place.
It If you say competition, maybe I feel sometimes that, oh, I wish I could have sung that song in some film, or that kind of thing. But never. And I must admit that in all these days of the pandemic that I've
Yeah.
stayed home,
Mm.
I made up my mind the very first second day that, look, I'm not going to be down in all this rubbish because of this, because uh, I'm a sucker for routine and discipline, and I lead a very fairly disciplined life. So there was every reason for me to feel bad, and why am I stuck at home like this? But of course, Sunny, my son, has is going through dialysis as we speak. Just now, he's going through his dialysis. So that was another reason why I wanted to be home, but I was happy about it. I never cribbed one day, not one day. But I tell you something, last week when I saw a show on television, the next day I was going to be on that, on Indian Idol. And when I saw all the kids singing my songs and the audience going crazy, absolutely crazy, and clapping, it just hit me, really hit me bad that day. That was the only day, just a week ago, when the intoxication of applause, I really missed it. And I didn't want to get down, feel down because of that, because I'd gone through the whole year and it had gone off so well. But
Yeah.
this audience participation that started with me in 1969, when everybody else who was in entertainment would just come up with a book and
That's
read and
vital
just
to
go off.
Park
Yeah.
Street. That's vital to Park Street. But Usha, did you one sing with any of these people? I think you've sung with Pam Crane, etc. And
Yes.
you've also sung with Amrik Singh Arora, I think.
Oh, Amrik Singh Arora was an institution by himself. Let me tell you, he
As
was
I
so
said, it's
different. And people talk about so many wonderful Punjabi singers today, but he was really ahead of his times. He used to wear jeans with studs on it, and studs on the collar, and he wore matching clothes, matching turban, and he was so well attired. I mean, he was just fantastic, and he really set. He was really the. He was like a fashion icon, like an Elvis Presley, or
with light
that
touch
kind of.
Crane.
that kind of persona. And
She
people who
had her
don't know about Amrik Singh
Madam
Arora,
Butterfly, Pam
sorry.
Crane. She had her boutique, Madam Butterfly.
Yes. And Pam Crane, yes. Amrik Singh Arora I sang with in many shows outside of the Park Street milieu. But Pam Crane, I only sang with her 2 or 3 times at one of the clubs here, Tolly Club.
Yeah,
And really, it was not with her, but
yeah.
on the same stage as her. But as I said, with Louis Banks, I did my first album, no, second album. He played on my second album before he did an album with Pam Crane. So Benny Rosario was there. I played with him. Joe Pereira. I mean, some of the stalwarts, Bras Gonzalez, you name it, they were there. I mean, all the best musicians that you could think of, Carlton
That
Kito,
was
and
Carlton.
so
He was
many, so many. I mean, it's
amazing.
just fun. Sorry?
Carlton, who the world over jazz musicians wanted to play with. Really,
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
outstanding.
So
And
many
that
wonderful music. You know, there was a girl called Eve. Do you remember a
no,
girl
I
called Eve?
mentioned her, Eve. Yeah,
Mm. Who was that in the yellow dress just now?
Brenda. I think that was
Ah,
Brenda. Yeah, who
Brenda
married
Lee.
Ravi Mukherjee.
Jaideep's, yeah. Amazing, amazing. And I don't know, the whole thing was so beautiful. All the singers, and everybody used to come to Trinkas in their break time. And it was so fantastic to have all of them coming and visit me and listen to me. And then, the feeling that, oh God, I've got to be better than the last moment.
Usha,
And
listening to you
Calcutta
now,
was
we
something else
just have to
totally.
have a live song now. Usha, give us something that you rocked Park Street with at that time. I think
Okay.
we're hearing so much about the
I'll do you a little bit, but actually, I had prepared for something. Anyway, I'll do that. This is a song which was made famous, of course, by so many million people, but on Park Street, it was made famous by me. And everybody would join. This was, of course, Trini Lopez's song. And so here it is for you. Just a
La
little bit
Bamba.
I'll do, and then, yeah.
Okay.
Una boca de gracia por mi partida, y arriba, por ti seré, por ti seré. Ba, 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 ba. Ay, yo no soy marinero, ay, yo no soy marinero, soy capitán, soy capitán, soy capitán. Everybody go. Ba, 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 ba. Yes, on this track, we had the fabulous Bras Gonzalez playing as well. It's been a fantastic journey, and La Bamba was one of the first songs where we got the audience to perform with us. It was really amazing. And this show would carry on only because of La Bamba, and people would say, one more time, one more time, one more verse, one more. Oh, it's such fun. Really, La Bamba was something
Terrific.
really fantastic
Okay,
for me.
Usha, you know that Park Street has some really, really interesting heritage facades of the city.
Yes.
We had an Armenian, Stephen Arathun, who built Stephen Court in the
Yes.
1950s. We had Ezra building Park Mansion, and another Armenian, Galston, who built Queen's Mansions, where
That's
you,
where I lived.
yes, right across from the place you worked in. How lucky
Yeah.
was that? So tell us a bit about it.
Oh, Queen's Mansion, when I see it, it's just fantastic. You see, my husband, Johnny, was working in a tea company, J. Thomason Company, and we had our quarters here. What? And it was just fantastic, the kind of lifestyle we had. And, the the flat was so beautiful. Just above us, Leander Pays lived, and it was such fun. I mean, he grew up with our children, Anjali and Sunny. And so it's been really amazing. Queen's Mansion is. Oh, so but then actually, I didn't really come to stay in Queen's Mansion until about 1978. No, 76, 78. Yeah, because we got transferred after we got married. We got transferred to Cochin, where I had both my children, that's Anjali and Sunny, both were born in Cochin. And we came back. I mean, we got married in 71, 72, 73. We were there. And we were there till about 76. And then we came back here. And Cochin. So, I really didn't have the pleasure of, working in long spaces to just walk across to my work. But it was fantastic whenever I sang in Trinkas, because then, but by then I couldn't just walk across, because there were a lot of people who would recognize me, and then, there would be a problem getting there on time. So I would take a car and get down at just at the gate of Trinkas on the left. And it was such fun, such fun. I can't tell you the magic of Trinkas.
Did you know that Galston lost this building because of his racing debts that
Yes, I did indeed. Yes.
oh,
I believe he gambled away all his,
he did?
the whole of Queen's Mansion. Was it Queen's Mansion or Stevens? Or the
No,
whole of Park
Stevens
Street?
was Aratun. Stevens
But
was
what buildings, what heritage we have. My goodness me. I can't think of Park Street without that corner, Russell Street and Park Street corner, and that building. My
then
goodness.
you had at the corner of Chorangi and Park Street, that was before, you had Hall and Anderson, which had
Yes, I bought my first carpet from there for
started out as the
1100
first
rupees. Yeah.
departmental store in Calcutta. Okay, Usha, you talked about Johnny just now,
Mhm.
and you also told us about how you had to sign in your contract that you're not going to solicit, not going to mingle with the guests,
Yes.
but Johnny and you had your little romance because he started.
But it was always in the confectionery.
Okay, he started coming to hear you sing. So tell us about that. All of
About
it.
him coming to listen to me. It's so strange. I mean, it was so wonderful. He used to come almost every day to listen to me sing. And of course, now he doesn't come at all. So, but he and my children are my best and worst critics. I mean, if they say that I'm good, then the show must have been really, really superlative. But Johnny, on my first night, after the first night, he came up to me and said, "Actually, you were super tonight." Oh, yes, I just went flip, flip, flip. And yeah, then he asked me, would you sing Matilda for me? Now that's become historic, actually. And so I said, okay, I was so excited. Yes, I'll definitely sing Matilda for you. And then I rehearsed in the night, but he didn't come the next day. And apparently he had gone off to the tea gardens. And when he came back, I don't know, there's something about him that it wasn't just his good looks. I think it was just his clean looks. I don't know what it was. I remember asking him, where do you work?
Hmm.
And he said, I work in tea. I'm in tea. I said, being an outside, I mean, if you're in Calcutta, you know about these things. But if you're not from Calcutta, and you're from outside another city, then all you know about tea is Brook Bond, Lipton's, and in those days, Moody's. Okay. Besides that, no. So when I asked him, really, what company? And he said, J. Thomas and Company. I said, oh, you know something? I've never heard about that. And he said, "We don't advertise. We're brokers." Ore bapre, my God, just I was just bowled over the way he spoke. And so people even now ask me, how do you remember every word that he said? And I say, well, I remember everything because if I can remember so many songs, then he's spoken just about maybe 200 sentences or something like that with me, and I remember all of them. But it was the strong silent type, and he would be there for all my shows. And I remember one show where he came in. This is after we started dating and things like that, and going regularly for drives after the show. We would go to Strand, and I remember the beautiful, what is that thing there, like a
Walking
gazebo.
monument, the pepper pot.
Mm.
No.
It was so beautiful. We went and carved our names over there once, Johnny and myself.
You
And
painter of monuments?
which one? Yes, on a monument. Can you imagine it? I'm sure it must be there still, Johnny and Usha. And when he came a little late one day, uh, we had already started dating, and we just took it for granted that we'd probably, not probably, that we'd get married
Married.
and we'd have children. And I remember very clearly the song was Sunny, and I sang, and he hadn't come in, Johnny hadn't come in as yet into Trinkas. And I had had already so many requests for it, so I couldn't keep it waiting. So I started singing, and as I started singing Sunny, he walked in. And so I was almost to that part. Even now, as I say it, I'm getting gaikata all over. And he walked in, and I said that thing had come to Sunny. Yesterday, my life was filled with so much rain. I said, Sunny, you smiled at me and really eased the pain. Now my dark days are done, my bright days are here. My sunny one shines so sincere. Johnny, I opened my eyes and said, Johnny, one so true. I love you. Oh my God, it was so romantic. I felt after the show was over, I asked him, I said,
Have
did
you
you
asked
like?
him to log on today?
Sorry, I should have actually.
Yeah.
I hope Anjali has, yeah. So after the show was over, when he came to the confectionery to meet me, I said to him, did you hear me take your name in the song? I was so excited. And you know what he told me? That was one of my first crash to all my dreams. He said, I don't particularly relish my name being spoken in public. Ure sala. Yeah. So I learned very early in my romance that, yeah, he's a very, very private person, and, very strong, silent type, shall I say. But it all happened because of
Yeah.
Trinkas.
Living on Park Street, that was a food fiesta, an endless food fiesta. And you had the perfect biscotti, prawn cocktail, Black Forest at Sky Room. You had excellent steaks at Ollie Pub. You had perfect continental fare at Mocambo, wonderful Canton style Chinese at barbecue, the food at Trinkas. So, what was your favorite? And you had Mr. and Mrs. Flurry's treats. And that is a nice
Nothing.
big
I
full
used to
stack.
be standing in the confectionery, and I love their palmiers, what they
Oh,
call Prajapati biscuits now. I
and
still love it with my coffee and a bowl of chips, and I was very happy with that. Actually, I'm not a foodie; I'm a junkie. And there was wonderful food that was you say that there was so much of food in on Park Street, but really I didn't get a chance to really go and eat all of that because also I'm a complete vegetarian. Okay,
I know.
but let me tell you an interesting fact, which I'm sure nobody would probably know. The first time I knew anything, and this is God's own truth, that I knew anything about a fact of food which is called paneer. Because coming from a South Indian family, in South India, don't really know what is paneer. We hardly ate paneer in our family. Not hardly, we never ate paneer. We only knew cheese. And there was either in those days, there was Polson's cheese, I think, and Kraft cheese. That's about it. So eating paneer was the biggest thing for me to have paneer, the way it was made in trinkas and the way they would make it, especially for me after the show was over. And it would be like a paneer butter masala, and then they would also make me paneer cutlets. The first time I ever tasted paneer was when I came to Trinkas in 1969. Isn't that strange? Yeah. But
Horrible.
it's South Indians really don't know about paneer. Really. It's only now that it has become, now, when I say now, I mean the past 30, 40 years that has become so, shall I say, it's become a national cuisine, isn't it, to eat paneer? But not in those days. It was very, very North Indian, and South Indians hardly ever ate paneer. As far, at least in our family, we never had paneer. So we didn't know about it. So for me, it was a big thing. And then the continental food, which I tasted, wasn't a sky room, wasn't there?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Black Forest, even
Yes.
the lemonade in a bottle where you pop the
Correct.
iron
It
thing,
goes puck, and then, yeah.
the
I
biscotti,
know. It was
you
so
know,
amazing.
the prawn cocktail, but the soups were amazing. So sky
Really
room, of
amazing.
course.
Yeah, but because Jehetu, I was performing in Trinkas, and I hardly got a chance to go out and taste all the fare, but I did later. And I remember even
But
now, I mean,
Chinkas
I
is
don't
there.
remember now.
You wouldn't have had it, but Auntie Chimu's chicken curry is part of Park Street folklore.
Oh,
So,
I was just going to tell you about Chimu Auntie Curry, which
yeah,
is what my children love so much, and Johnny loves so much. All our friends, and I cook it actually. And
you do.
though I'm completely vegetarian,
So that I
Anjali
know.
used
Yeah.
Anjali used to be my taster for me for salt and everything else. So it was really just amazing that I could, be able to cook all those things. And uh, I mean, Park Street is magical, and for me, it is still magic. It's still magic.
Okay. Park Street is magical. It always was. Now, did you know that St. Xavier's, where that is,
Hmm.
was actually Sans Souci Theatre?
Oh, I used to wish that I could perform there, but I don't remember which is the year that this Sanssouci.
19th century, 1800, and in the middle of the 19th century.
Okay, but when did it really
Not as
open
such
up as a theater
St.
now? I
Xavier's.
mean,
It's the
where
Park
would it
Street
be?
side. It's the Park Street side of St. Xavier's.
Park Street said. That is where the auditorium is
Yeah,
now.
that's right. I mean, it's
Yeah.
that side. But
Yeah,
I
and it
wanted
was
to
really
ask you,
fantastic. So
you
you
also had the graveyards on Park Street with so many people, big names there,
didn't
resting.
all these big names, weren't they all buried over there?
Yeah, Sir William Jones, De Rosio, Charles Hindu Stewart, Charles Dickens' son, William Makepeace Thackeray's father, great granddaughter of King Charles II. But you had so much on Park Street. What were some of your haunts on Park Street? Did
Uh,
you?
my haunt, my biggest haunt was the Moodiwala. Just
Street food?
crazy, isn't it?
Sure, sure.
And I used to love browsing with the, what shall I say, the magazine stores, yeah, the bookstores right outside. That was every break somehow or the other, I'd land up over there by the Moody and just land up over there. But otherwise, I would say somehow in those days, I always thought that you know loyalty, or some different kind of ideas that I had, that if I'm from Trinkas, I shouldn't go anywhere else. That was the kind of thing.
Oh,
So I would never. And do you remember Kitty Auntie?
yes.
Um, Okay, so she used to be looking after the confectionery. So the my bestest place was the confectionery, where I would sit in a corner over there and enjoy listening to the till when they made the money for the night. And I was always ready to ask, how are the bookings and how is it? And how I hope Uncle Josh and Omi Mama are happy, and I hope they made a lot of money. I was the highest paid singer in those days. I was getting first contract was 750 rupees, not for one day, but for the whole month of singing. And
Not
then
for those days.
that was a lot of money.
And I must ask you, did you get the laundry included like Rai Bahadur Oberoi told you to?
No, I met up with Rai Bahadur Ji only later. And what a man he was. And he always said that to me. Why is it, he would say it in Hindi, of course, he would say, why is it that you only sing in Trinka, I mean, in Calcutta, only in Trinkas? Sare dunia mein, sare India mein, you sing in all my properties, but not in Calcutta. Why? But I did do the odd show, whenever I could, or whenever people asked for a private show or something like that. I did perform at Prince's in at the Grand Hotel, but no, laundry was not included in with Trinkas. In fact, nothing was included. It was just yeah. But they were nice. They were good to me. They gave me my coffee free and coffee and whatever snacks. But that corner in the confectionery was where I could see all the wonderful things that were happening in front of my eyes. People getting together, people breaking up, people getting back together again with somebody's husband and somebody, all those wonderful, wonderful things that you read in Mills and Boons, really. I wasn't a Mills and Boons fan, but Park Street made everything come alive for me. I grew up, actually. My mind opened up, my horizons changed, and everything. I mean, I became a more thinking person, more. Uh, I also met Mother Teresa at that time, but I didn't meet her as Mother Teresa. I mean, the Mother Teresa, because I'd gone to see Sister Amy for my homeopathy. Somebody told me that she's a fantastic homeopath. And so I went to meet Sister Amy over there and in
Okay,
Loreto.
I'm quickly going to ask you a question. We have, of course, the Christmas Carnival now on Park Street again to bring back some of the life. And also, you have really encouraged new young talent, whether it's a
Yes.
Sandeep Vyas or a Francis Lepcha, whoever. I mean,
Everyone.
so many people.
Shane.
But Shane Harripiet, that's the Christmas lighting. But Usha,
Yes.
I think we have to end soon. And I just want you to sing one song because truly from beginning to end, you did it your way. In a
Yes.
sari, Sinatra in a sari, the Beatles in a sari, everybody in a sari and rocking it. So,
Odie, I want to say to everybody, besides the cultural heritage, that we have, also
yes,
the most amazing uh, buildings that we have, the
yes.
architectural heritage that we have, and never forget the trees. The trees are so beautiful in Calcutta,
True,
so
true.
beautiful. And that's half the reason why I love going to London as well, because the trees just it's just too much. I hope that our organization can really, really do something about the trees as well and see that
Very
they're
good.
nice
We
and
have a
clean.
question for you. One question, quick one, from Supriya Newar. Um, Supriya Newar is a member of CHC. How do you stay so spirited? So after that, I want you to sing My Way.
Okay. How do I stay so spirited? It's only because of all of you. Really, I've said it, and maybe it sounds oversimplistic, but the truth is that I give unashamedly, and I give everything that I have as if there's no tomorrow. And I do believe that when you give without expecting anything, how long can you resist it, Odie? You have to give in to me sometime, given not to me, but to the love that comes out of being able to share and care. And I think Calcutta has done it, and Trinkas has done it, really. So the
Absolutely.
heritage of Calcutta will never, ever die, especially with organization like ours, which will really, really be able to restore and keep it alive. And it will. And I'm spirited because you are there in front of me. All the audiences everywhere, I'd like to say thank you to you for being there and supporting me so that I could live to tell the tale that, hey, there's
I,
no place like Calcutta and the heritage that we have.
thank you.
And if you say, my way, it's really, I feel that in our times, really, you've probably heard it sung by other people as well. But somehow, every word I feel I'm justified in singing
It was
because
made for you. Made for you.
Yeah, really, really. And my sad thing is that I never got a chance to even, I'm a great, great big fan, like everybody else is, of Frank Sinatra. And at the age of 13, I wrote him a letter from Bombay. And I never knew how to. I said I come from a very musical family because my two sisters, Indira and Roma, also were singing at that time. And for me, I wrote to Frank Sinatra and thought I was so innocent, I thought it would get to him. Can you imagine? I just wrote Frank Sinatra, America, USA. It probably did get to him, God knows. But here it is. I did it my way. And you helped me do it because without that, it wouldn't be possible. So, as I say goodnight to all of you while you take over, I'd like to say thank you for helping me do it my way. Now the end is near, and I must face the final curtain. My friends, I'll say it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway, but more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do, and so it's through, without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step upon the byway, but more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all and I stood tall. I did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried. I've had my share, my fill of losing. And now, as tears subside, I find it oh so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way. Oh no, oh no, not. Oh, oh. I think something was wrong with the internet. Hello. Hello. Oh, it's good that it went off over there. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Well, no, no, no. I'll continue with that. But I want to say,
Okay.
I didn't get a chance to say thank you to all my musicians like Sumit Ramchandran, Amol, Nepal, Raja Narayan Dev, Shobhan Mukherjee, and yeah,
The
Dubai,
late Emil Isaac.
the late Emil Isaacs, and all the people who are dropouts from Trinkas and all the Park Street musicians. Without them, my life would have been so incomplete. So let me just do this last one. Yeah. I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he must not say all the things he really feels. and of the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blow. I did it my way.
Absolutely fantastic, Usha. And I just want to say thank you. This one's personal because of all the warmth, all the appreciation I've got from you over the years. Thank you for being such a wonderful friend, for making things so much nicer for me and brighter.
But
Thank you
they
for
wouldn't
being
know. They wouldn't know that I've done the maximum shows with you, and people
over
wouldn't know
50.
that without being a part of my growing up on Park Street in the advertising agencies, which you have been, I've always admired you and the way you conduct a show. You're the best, the
Thank you so
pioneer,
much. Thank you.
iconic, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Usha, for making this first Adda in the CHC Adda series so special. I want to tell everyone who's listening that if you want to be part of CHC, I think in the chat box, the email is given, and that's the number, that's the contact. Do please join. We have wonderful things that will happen. Our next Adda is going to be on the 17th of Feb, Winter Tales, only for CHC members, by the members. And thank you, a big thank you to Ayan Chattopadhyay. This was his idea, his baby. Fantastic, Ayan. Keep it up. Mukul, thank you for all the work you put in, your support. And Shubham, thank you for being there behind the scenes and doing this. Thank you most of all to all of you who've tuned in. And this is going to be on YouTube, I think, tomorrow. So do spread the word. Thank you so much, Usha.
Thank
A
you.
big
Thank you
you
so much,
and
CHC,
love.
for giving me this
Thank
great
you.
opportunity. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. More strength to us.
Yes.
Let's stay on for some time.
Hello.
I wish we could have shown all my musicians because I want to
I
say
know.
thank you to all of them.
Have we disconnected?
No.
No, not yet.
Okay.
So I can say it now, yeah? About all the musicians that I've played with, all the technicians. Yeah, it's been really fantastic. I mean, it was such a great talk. I didn't imagine it would fly off so soon. So Sumit Nepal, Amol, Topun Roy Chowdhury. Yeah, amazing, amazing. Shubho, and each and every one of you. Thank you so much to Sandra and Somresh for helping
Absolutely.
me out and putting all the shows together.
Ushadi, can I share something?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Ushadi, Arun here.
Hmm.
So
This is
I have
his
a beautiful
game
memory
time,
of you.
Usha.
Yeah.
Ayan, show yourself.